Hello, I guess I'm live. I think I know how I'm going to do the pick a prophecy. I almost low key wish. I feel like Eve knows what next I have. Because I feel like I have another Lenormand deck, but I don't know what it would be anyway. So I've got three Lenormand decks because I'm feeling Lenormand-y today, apparently. And I think when I do the pick a prophecy, I was gonna do it today or schedule it for tonight, but then I fell asleep. I don't know when I'm gonna be up, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assign each Lenormand to one of three shot glasses. And so I'll do pick a prophecy, and then within that prophecy, you can pick a vessel, and then I'll just like clarify it with the Lenormand. That'll be 9 shots, which I can do. But by the end of it, I'm gonna be like, whew, no. My last video was 11:09. I really thought I went live. No, because I woke up, I went to the gym, and then I went to the card shop, and then I went to sleep. So I wasn't live today. I was like, I really feel like I was live earlier today, but I guess not. Nope. My days are starting to blend together, but also I live a PM to AM life rather than an AM to PM. So I also want to use the Diceology. And then I had a feeling of just like using all the playing card decks that I have. And so then I would just need the fortune telling cards. Should I grab them? Sure. I am going to grab them. Give me 1 second. It's all about the playing cards today, I guess. And the door is open because it gets warm in this room. It gets so very warm in this room. Maybe it's in here. Is it the fortune telling playing cards? What are they called? Warm, 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 warm. Warm, 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 warm. See, I started to grab these before I went live. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to use them. And now here I am. That is the Fairy Oracle. I don't think the other box is big enough for these. Here they are. At the bottom of the box, because I never use them. These cards are intimidating. It feels like they're disproportionately negative. So that's why I never use them. I be too scared. I'm too scared. I already am. I'm so scared. Do I need the book? I am not reading books today. I read enough for a lifetime yesterday. We'll just see what's up. So I'm going to go from most cards to least cards, which means I'm going to use the Expanded Gilded Reverie Lenormand and then the La Santa Muerte Lenormand. and then the Mirror Truth Lenormand. And I'm going to use the Dicology and the, what are these? Fortune telling playing cards? Reading fortune telling cards. Because these are like the full 52. The full 52. Rather than the Lenormand like 36 or whatever. Or is it 30? Yeah, 36 in the Lenormand. So, and we're just gonna pull cards and we're just gonna see what's up. Which do I start with between these two? And these are gonna just be general energies, I guess. I'm gonna do the Dicology first. Actually, I'm gonna challenge myself a little bit. I'm gonna do these first. Hold up. 1 second. Pardon the interruption. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with the scary cards, and we're just going to see what's up. It flew under the mic. The 6 of Spades. The mouse denotes loss by theft. Nearby denotes recovery after great difficulty, but distant, the loss will be irretrievable. See, I tell you, these cards are not nice. The mouse is actually a Lenormand card. I don't know which one it is. Nearby, distant. It's lost by theft. All right. Then Dicology, an arrow that swims through the air, 4 of Spades. Force pliability, a fixed vision in a volatile space. 88, 8, 9, 2, 5, and 2. Bottom of the deck is material intervention, the coming of spring, mastering the game of life. Bottom of the deck over here, the tower surrounded by clouds denotes sickness and if adjoining death. 10 of clubs. So this is like tower energy. This energy came out recently. Because I remember saying that there was an energy that felt like, you know, if there's like a teddy bear that's like ripped and battered and bruised and on its last stuffed leg, or a toy that's harmful, then the parent / the divine will take it away and replace it with something better. Because it's the forced pliability. It's almost something, it's the area of things that we wouldn't willingly give up. And this fixed vision in a volatile space, it's almost like it's too. The fixed vision in a volatile space can go either way. On the positive side, it can be a steadiness in times of like chaos and uncertainty. But in a not so positive way, it could be us being too narrow-minded or too narrowly focused to notice the changes that are happening around us, which is very close to the last reading with the well-known alchemy and archetypes. I almost redid that. I was like, I kind of like that. I was like, but this time I could pull like an archetype in the middle and then an alchemy that helps and hinders. But I was like, nah, let's do Lenormand. An arrow that swims through the air. Now that's because it's like with Sagittarius or with physics. Once you fire an arrow, it is on its course. You can't change its direction once you release it and let it go. But it's almost like, I guess, a remote controlled arrow where the archer can still decide how it moves as it's in the air. Lenormand 1. That was quick. Thank you for cooperating. We have the dice. Take a chance. Number 39. Lenormand 2. I ate some jalapeno chips before this. Every time I reach into that bag and I desperately want jalapeno, they come out. So it was my last bag today. We have the book, El Libro. Which is the 10 of diamonds. 6 plus 4 of spades is the 10 of spades. Bottom of the playing cards is the 10 of clubs. And then in the Mirror Truth Lenormand, we have the dog. The doggy. El Perro. Hey, Codes of Harmony, how you doing? The dice, the book, and the dog are the 3 Lenormands we have clarifying this message. There was something that popped into my head. Oh, with the dog and with the dice and the book, it's almost like this chapter is called Taking a Chance type energy. And this book is open. What's interesting about this book is, though, that there are multiple bookmarks in it. Typically, when I see books with the threaded bookmarks, there's only one, but this one has 3. Now, the book in I think both of the books actually, and the other 2 Lenormand decks are closed, but this one is an open book, and that being an open book is significant. This isn't a test. Well, thank you. It's because I was so unwell last week. I'm full of tea, as I've actually been drinking tea this week. We started with raspberry tea, and now we're on to green tea with ginseng, Arizona. Somebody just mentioned Arizona like yesterday. Yeah, because I was like, oh, I had a brother in Arizona. Well, I was like, I know somebody in Arizona. It's my brother. I don't remember why Arizona came up, but I feel like somebody at work mentioned it too. No, I think it was Holly. Mentioned something about Arizona. The jackalope, that's what it was. The jackalope in Arizona. This is an open book. So it's almost giving like open note test energy. But the thing about a test the thing about a test that is open book is that they're typically harder. than closed note, closed book tests. And it may be because it's testing for something different. It's almost like a closed note, closed book test is testing for retention of information. And an open book, open note test is testing one's ability to apply information, almost by nature, right? Because you have access to all the information. I feel like this is because the dice came out first. I don't know if it's hey Holly, how you doing? I don't know. I also popped another Mucinex before this, just in case. So if it starts, and I also just woke up like an hour ago. It's almost like spirit slash the divine slash the universe is taking a chance on us figuring out why something is happening the way that it is. And it's interesting because it makes me think of the entry in Dealing with Monsters where it was like, if you eliminate a monster, you have to replace that void with something or else it'll just come back. But I almost wonder if the challenge isn't to just remain open. Because it ends in the dog, and the dog is here waiting. Hold up. Oh, it's a heart. Oh, this is the 10 of hearts. The dog is the 10 of hearts. We got the 6 plus 4 of spades. We have the 10 of diamonds. And then at the bottom of the fortune playing cards, we have the 10 of clubs. So all the 10 of every suit is here. But in the spades, we have to do the math. And I feel like that doing the math in the suit of spades is again like that. Is this a way, a pack? You have to do the math, which is again, it feels like that open book, open note. Like, can we figure out why? It isn't even like why something is happening necessarily, but it's almost like, can we make the choices and decisions to navigate us in a time of uncertainty? I almost want to like pull more cards because I'm like, maybe it's like a review period. And the loyalty of the dog could be our loyalty, like to ourselves. You know what I mean? Or loyalty to the work that we've done, loyalty to the path that we have walked down. This dog is almost making me think of the wolf, how the wolf was waiting beyond the veil, and how the wolf came out recently with whatever cards it came out with in the animal spirits. Almost that, like, haha, you've arrived energy. So that's the first one. Tens, 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 tens across the board. And also with the 10 of spades being broken up into the 6 and the 4, it feels like there is a little bit like of a hint or a clue, or it feels lessened because the 6 and the 4 of swords are probably the two best or the two easiest or the two most manageable swords cards. And it's funny or it's interesting because there was the benzene dream in the high priestess, because the 4 of swords is typically asleep and the 6 of swords depicts movement. So either it's sleepwalking or it's like dream walking, astral projection, excuse me, something like that. All right, let's get one more. And then I might go back to bed. Look, I'm starting to get bags. Gucci's, Louis, Fendi's, Pradas, Dolces, and Gabbanas. Jimmy Choo's or shoes. Ooh. We got like 3 cards in the playing cards, and one of them is the Joker. Okay. Six of diamonds. Diamonds. 5 of clubs is the bottom of the deck. The clover, number 33. The clover leaf is a bearer of good tidings, but if near clouds, it denotes great chagrin. If, however, number 2 does not lie near 29 or 28, the chagrin will be short of duration and happiness will follow. Well, the last card that came out, the one that's still on the table, is number 29. So it will not be a chagrin of short duration and happiness will not follow. Well, maybe that's just an energy of like, not every situation is necessarily like salvageable, or there isn't always like a positive whatever. Sometimes it just is what it is, and it sucks. Now, the 6 of diamonds, number 51, the lion presages a sudden shock from bad news. See, that's what I don't really, these cards scare me. But then we get the Joker, the 10 of hearts, and the extra Joker. So the 10 of hearts is sandwiched in between these 2 Jokers, which is interesting. That's why I'm like, what? Bouquet of flowers, an absolute indication of long and happy life. If children are nearby, extraordinary honors and fame. So sandwiched in between these 2 wild card Jokers, refuse to be defined or pigeonholed, is this bouquet of flowers, which indicates long and happy life. So maybe because of the Jokers, it's possible that there will be no chagrin at all. And happiness won't follow because happiness will always be, It's one of those like, but you said it wouldn't be short. Well, yeah, I said it wouldn't be short, but I didn't say it'd be long either. You know what I mean? There is no such chagrin. There is an absence of chagrin. Aren't I funny? Wasn't that a hilarious joke? Talking about the jackalope and jokes that aren't necessarily always funny. Interesting. The lion presages shock from bad news. Now, there is a little bit of like a will type of energy, WILL, because it's like there's shock from bad news, but then there's this gorgeous energy. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be that extreme. It could just be something unpleasant that happens that actually leads to some extremely pleasant things happening, which is kind of that clover. Now, if we draw a boundary and if we draw a line between this and the last, then it isn't near. Oh, maybe that's the thing. There's this Joker bubble on the bouquet. Because the clover by itself is a bearer of good tidings. And within this, there are no clouds. So I don't know if that's like a need for some kind of separation. And here's two. It says, if, however, number two does not lie near. Hold up, wait. Oh, I read this all the way wrong. Number two is the clouds, I'm assuming. The ace of spades is behind this. If near the clouds, it denotes great chagrin. However, if number two does not lie near 29 or 28, the chagrin will be of short duration and happiness will follow. So it doesn't matter if the clover is near the mice or not. It matters if the clover is near the clouds and if the mice are near the clouds, or if the mice follows the clouds. But since there are no clouds, this is just good tidings and happiness. See, that's where it's like, it's that we got to do a little bit of math. This is an open note test. Oh, I just cut the deck to that King of Diamonds too. All right, let's see. What's next? So this is gorgeous besides the shock from bad news. The Lion presages a sudden shock from bad news. I mean, it could be completely unrelated too. Because again, there's this Joker bubble. Now I could pull before and after the Joker. There are two Jokers. But I'm not going to do that. So, Diceology. Next layer, please. We're doing that flip shuffle. There we go. The King of Hearts. A decision that once made cannot be rescinded. A wise king who settles an impossible dispute, operating in divine order. Just saw the King of Diamonds at the cut. Bottom of the deck, 4 of diamonds. Dawn before the first day of a new world, and old earth passed away, a breathtaking sight. 44, 13, 2, 6, 1, and 2. Interesting. A wise king who settles an impossible dispute and operating in divine order. There's so much goodness, but then sudden shock from bad news. Speaking of Scorpio undertones, how about that new moon Virgo? Mercury directives coming up. Has nothing to do with Scorpio, but So we go from the book to a letter. Compass is at the bottom of the deck. Number 27. 27, 28. No, 27, 29. 28 is missing. The letter. September 19th. There's a date on this letter. September 19th, 18, whatever. September 19th is in a week, actually. That is a week from today. 12 plus 7 is 19. Interesting. Very, very interesting. The letter, 7 of spades. La carta. 7 of spades. we get 2 letters. If we get a third letter, it's like we're putting pieces of a puzzle together. I guess I didn't necessarily think that would happen. Now this looks like a legal document that is signed. Oof. That's big, 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 big oof energy. Just because of a more specific example that came through. The letter, and that was not the letter. The letter, and stork 17. There are 2 storks here, and there are 2 letters. And then there are the baby storks. I would say, because there are 2 letters here, there's a don't stop reading energy. Right. Like, let's say that you receive a letter and it's almost like one of those, do you want the good news or the bad news first? And you say the bad news. And so you get the bad news first. But like, you don't want to clock out before the good news comes in, because the good news may be good enough to outweigh the bad news. I mean, the bad news may still be unfortunate, but the good news is just like amazing. You know what I mean? And it is almost like read the fine print type of energy. Oh, not fine print. It's like just keep reading. Don't clock out. Don't check out because something may all of a sudden appear to be bad or unfortunate. And this impossible decision that the wise king makes, like, that's because the wise king gets all of the information. Right. The wise king listens to it in its totality and then makes a decision, having all the information. It's just like there's a second page to the letter. And on the second page, and then again, it feels like one of those, like, well, why didn't you just like start with the good news? Or like, why did you save the best part for last? And it is like it's the extra joker and the joker flanking the bouquet. The bouquet. And this one joker already has like 4 jokers in it because the word joker is written 4 times. Or at least 2. Oops. Well, now the joker is bridging the King of Cups to the first letter. This is the Queen of Hearts. Oh, King and Queen of Hearts. What? That's gorgeous. See, in between the King and the Queen of Hearts are these 2 letters. Yeah, because we're just dropping cards today. It's fine. Are the King and Queen of Hearts these jokers? 2 letters, a bouquet. And this could also be like, sometimes a negative event happening, circumstance or situation is the impetus that we need to do something positive or to make a change. that's like long overdue. And so in that way, again, because of the open book last time, um, there is an energy of like with the toy that gets taken away, or like something better is coming. It's like whatever was stolen, like it's not what it's like we shouldn't want it anyway. Or it's like it doesn't matter. Now the principal thing is that like, stealing is bad and we should be rightfully upset that we were stolen from. But it's like it's not something that we wanted, needed, used, like it doesn't matter anyway. And then the real kicker would be like if you find out it wasn't even stolen, it was just misplaced. And then there's a whole lot of backpedaling you got to do. So yeah, it's like keep reading because on the second page, whatever happens after that second letter, like the storks come in. And like these babies are already born, like baby storks. Like they ain't even carrying the baby. Like they're carrying. Well, I guess that's what they do. They don't. Storks don't carry fetuses. They carry fully born babies. All right, let's get one more. One more. I do actually want to clean before tonight. Y'all see my little Super Mario fan? Yeah, there's probably going to be a box if it fits on here too, because that's my catch-all thing. All right. Fortune telling playing cards. Last one. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, no. What card was this? The Two of Clubs? The Three of Clubs, then flipped over 10 cards. Seven of Diamonds, flames on the hearth indicate good fortune and neutralizes the evil of near-lying unlucky cards and increases the value of lucky ones. The snake indicates enmity and calamities, the degree of which is governed by the distance of the card from the person. The bride ensures for a single person the fulfillment of their highest aims when near, if distant, turbulent married life. The heart signifies joy when near. Roses indicate beauty and rugged health. The rapiers warn us against assaults which threaten and will occur sooner or later according to the distance from the person. The park foretells a new love when very near, if distant, false friends. And the railroad forecasts a long journey. If near 44, a serious accident. If near 29, a robbery. Well, there's that Two of Clubs that I thought was a Three of Clubs. So we ain't doing all that. We're not doing all that. I guess I already took like 4 cards technically last time, but no. No. 1 card, 2 cards at the max. 3 cards is pushing it. All right. Fortune telling cards. There we go. I look like I saw a scythe. Oh, it's the 10 of Diamonds. Oh my gosh. Another 10. Can you imagine? Can you believe? With the 5 of Clubs at the bottom of the deck again. The clover. More good tidings. Good tidings we bring. So, the 10 of Diamonds. The scythe presages disappointment and when near the coffin, early death. I mean, it's interesting that it's on the 10 of Diamonds because, that's the scythe being used for what scythes are used for. To harvest things quickly. You just, I was like, well, I've seen a scythe. It was a scythe. But it's the 10 of Diamonds. Let's see. Presages disappointment and when near the coffin, early death. Diceology. Same rules apply. 1 to 2 cards. I see a two of diamonds. Oof. A forced uprising, an ancient word that stirs ancient things to life, whispered. Bottom of the deck is seven of clubs, a purifying light, a renewed mind, a moment of timelessness. We saw that seven of clubs yesterday. 38, 9, 5, 1, 5, and 3. A forced uprising with the scythe. Again, it feels like a lot of like tower-like energies. There was sudden bad news in the last one. There was the theft or loss in the first one. But it was like, again, it feels like both of them have also had an energy of like, there's better that's possible. Like coming out of the situation. A forced uprising. I mean, sides are good at what they do. Oh, the dog. Bottom of the deck is the compass again. We got the dog, the doggy, the 10 of hearts. Now this dog is ready to be walked. This dog is like, the other dog was just like sitting outside the house waiting for its owner to come back. This dog is waiting to go outside. And it's got the ball. It's like it's trying to play. It ain't even, oh, I was going to say it ain't even got the hold up. I've never noticed that. Oh, it's Cyril Marchetti's initials on the dog tag. Or the whatever around the dog. It ain't a Cyril Marchetti deck if you don't see CM on every card. How is Zeno? Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard from Shayna in a minute. When you said how is Zeno, I was like, wait, are you talking about Chino? I think Chino's good. My brother said that one of the neighbors got a new dog and it's outside, so Chino's been very active. He was like, I was trying to sleep, and every time the dog a yard over did anything, Chino would just start barking. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was a little confused at first, but last time I saw Chino was probably a few weeks ago. I like never see Chino anymore because I don't go home as much, or I don't go to my parents as much. El Sol is the bottom of the deck in this deck. Hey, David, how you doing? La Garza. The Stork. We just saw the Stork. 17, 18, 10 of hearts, Queen of hearts, 18, 17. Maybe we'll benefit from some play, you know? Maybe there is a time to be like, oh. Ooh, and the clouds. Uh-oh. The cloverleaf is a bearer of good tidings, but if near clouds, it denotes great chagrin. Bottom of the deck is tower. We got some clouds. And the ring. Clouds and ring. What's this? King of clubs, ace of clubs. 5 of clubs at the bottom of the deck. Why does this seem, why are all of these so like, this one feels the most elaborate though. It feels the most elaborate. This, I would say, a lighthearted approach. And it kind of reads as a sense of detachment. I mean, that's what maybe it isn't, but that's what it's reading like. Because it's like, this disappointment. Well, I guess it's just disappointment because the coffin didn't come out. So it's not denoting early death. It's a disappointment. It's like all of these are basically the same. But this one a little bit more spelled out. A disappointment that forces us to a realization. Maybe it's a disappointment that gets us to do something that we've wanted to do for a long time because of the ancient word that there's ancient things to like whispered. But it's not yelled. Like it's not something that we necessarily have to do because of the disappointment. It's something that we choose to do. And it's very like packing light and um moving forward. If it does not lie near 29 or 28, and it doesn't, the chagrin will be short of duration and happiness will follow. So the clouds are here. So there is going to be a great chagrin with this disappointment, but it's not going to be long lasting and happiness will follow. And the ring is literally behind the clouds. That's why, like, the ring behind the clouds makes this feel like some really elaborate, almost unnecessary, like, you didn't have to do all that type of, you know what I mean? A purifying light, a renewed mind, a moment of timelessness. The dog is definitely feeling like the dog and the stork is feeling more like that renewed light. The parting of the clouds would be the purifying light is the dog and the stork. The parting of clouds would be a renewed mind. And then the ring. This is so, I feel like I'm annoyed. Yeah, lots of tens. We've seen all the tens. And then the King of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, now the King of Clubs. We saw the King of Diamonds was at the cut. So we haven't seen the King of Spades. Excuse me. I almost wonder if it's like all of a sudden we have some free time. Cause it's like it feels like the dog knows that we're not busy anymore. Or the dog can tell that I don't know if like we're restless or it can tells that we're like free. And so it's like can you take me outside now? Like, or is it time for a walk? Or the dog is like the dog is trying to take you for a walk. The dog's like, I think you could benefit from some fresh air. Let's go for a walk. And then you literally have the stork that's like stretching its legs or its wings, it's stretching its wings. And it's like, man, that walk was exactly the thing I needed. Thanks, dog. Thanks, pup. Oh, snap. They're like, did somebody say walk? Did somebody say outside? The only royals we haven't seen are the royals of swords. Nobody from the court of swords has shown up. Interesting. Are we gonna go looking for them? Probably not. Probably. Oh. Do I want to do one more? Or we just do final cards? I'll just do final cards. Oh, that does not go there. This goes here. And then, like, the sun is out, the tower is here, and the compass. Oh, look. There's, like, horse-drawn carriages and a person walking. This is very, like, industrial. It's not like the garden, which is interesting. The Six of Spades. We just saw the Six of Spades, right? Yeah, the Six of Spades was the mice. Yeah, Six of Spades. The mouse denotes loss by theft nearby. It denotes recovery after great difficulty. But distant, the loss will be irretrievable. And since it came out as the first card, it was the most nearby. So it's recovery from that loss, which was basically the message. Something is alive. I was looking at the sun, but there's an empty grave here. There's an empty grave. Now there's like a rebirth energy here. Interesting. The dead walk amongst us. All right, see you later, Codes of Harmony. I'm telling you, I don't know what's happening, but something is cooking somewhere. I had a dream the other night that something was happening. I didn't even know. I was trying to swim. They're like, we don't have time to swim. Like, there's an event happening. Don't you remember? And I was like, oh, yeah, of course I remember. Duh. That's literally why we're here. We're not here to swim. We didn't come all this way just to swim. The writer. Nine of Hearts, the writer. Bottom of the deck is the anchor, Nine of Spades. This is interesting. And then the tower is under that again. The writer and the anchor are like two contrasting energies because the anchor is so solid and stationary, but the writer is so mobile and it has so much momentum. I've never noticed the seahorse on the anchor before. The anchor, La Ancla? Was it La Ancla or El Ancla? I can't remember if it was La Ancla or El Ancla. I feel like it's El Ancla because I was like, Ancla. I would have thought that was feminine, but it was El instead of La. I was like, what? Interesting. Speaking of that, there was an energy. Oh, that was Lagrangian versus Eulerian. There was the energy of the particle moving through the water rather than the particle moving through the water rather than the particle being moved by the water. That came out yesterday. All right, let's put Alankla back in the deck. Let's get one more Lenormand. The writer. Maybe the anchor at the bottom of the deck was like something that has been still for a minute, now moving. Oof, well. Ooh, it's the scythe. Someone's attached signs to the side of the horse. This is like some quick turnaround. Maybe it's just like a quick turnaround energy. Maybe Scorpio season is happening early. Because, sides are associated with reaping and death, and because Scorpio is Scorpio. The Jack of Diamonds, the Nine of Hearts. Or it's an ability to it's also 1 and 10, which are numerologically the same. The first and second one. Or it's this energy of being able to reap one's rewards sooner. Maybe the season is so fecund is the word that Russ likes to use. I'll use it. Maybe the season is so fecund that things just grow super fast. It's almost like they shoot up overnight. But I would say it's probably because of what's happened underground. It's because of what's happened underground that the plants perform so well above ground. And it's probably also the environment. It speaks to the environment in general that they're in, that they can grow so well so quickly. Bottom of the deck is the mountain, number 21. Who was that? Is that the bear? Number 3, the ship. The mountain and the ship. Oh, the first 3 and the third 3. I saw it like that. So I was like, oh, what's that? Clouds is in between them, but the mountain is obscuring the clouds. So the clouds are on the other side of the mountain. It's fine. The mountain protects the city. Oh, look, because the tower was at the bottom of the deck. Here are many towers. It's like if we zoom out from the tower and we see the town that's protected by this mountain. And then we see the ship, which is the 10 of spades, which is what we get when we add the 6 and the 4 of spades. Oh my gosh, this deck isn't even complete. Wow, I forgot to pull these cards. Goodness, help me. Somebody get me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. Wow. I can't get final cards without the cards being all put together. And then the fox is at the cut with the mountain. That's an illusionary mountain. Now the dog is at the cut with the mountain. All right. The bear and the snake. The 10 of clubs and the queen of clubs. Bottom of the deck is, if you guessed the clover, you be correct. 6 of diamonds, number 2. It's interesting that this number 2 is the clover. If, however, number 2 does not lie near 29 or 28, the chagrin will be short of duration and happiness. Like, it's almost like the card that this one pretends against is its very energy in a standard Lenormand set. It's very interesting. Anyway, behind the clover, we got the first and the third two. 2 and 20, just like we had 3 and 21. Now, the garden, this is an energy that I would expect for us to be like walking out in. It's like breathe in that fresh city smog with the tower. Um, the bear and the snake. This is interesting. So the bear is giving me mama bear energy, where it's either incredibly, I mean, either way, it's incredibly loving, caring, and nurturing, but it depends on how you treat the bear's cubs. If you're a threat to mama bear's cubs, you're going to get the side of mama bear that will destroy you. But if you're not, then you're going to almost be like welcomed into the fold. And with the snake, it's like there are positive qualities to the snake, but we more so gravitate towards the negative ones, typically. Maybe there's been like a situation that's taken a bit of time to turn around. It could also be because of the bear in the winter time. I mean, these are polar bears, so maybe not necessarily as much, but there's like a stuck shed energy, like a snake that was shedding its skin, but at like a certain part of the shed got stuck and it hasn't been able to shed it properly. So it's almost like the snake has gotten cranky because it's basically suffocating in its own dead skin. And so it's like lashing out. Maybe. But Clover at the bottom of the deck, it's like it's a lucky break either way. It feels, yeah, it's reading as a lucky break. Whatever, I guess we need to make a choice or decision. It's lucky break time. And depending on the choice and decision we need to make, will determine almost how the events that are going to play out need to play out. So, like, on the not so great side of things, it could be like if there's a relationship with a person or with a job in which like we aren't appreciated or we feel like we're being taken advantage of or whatever, then it could be like the final straw that comes in where we make the choice and decision to quit, to leave, to do whatever. But on the other hand, it could be like if we need a sign that we are on the right path because we've been in a space of challenge, then that lucky break could be like recognition or a show of appreciation or, you know, whatever we need to see and the way that we need to see it. It feels like it can be shown to us. Excuse me. That is the Mirror Truth Lenormand. Oh, the scythe wanted to be shown again. And it's quick. It's like it'll be so clear and so obvious that it may be a decision on the spot. And again, that could go either way. They'd be like, oh my gosh, you really do appreciate me. Or someone's like, hey, like, you've been working really hard lately. Let me take care of this for you. And you're like, oh my gosh, I have been working very hard. I'm so tired. And it's nice to be appreciated. You know what I mean? Okay. La Santa Muerte La Norman. Let's see. Last two. The deck is complete. We got El Libro again. Oh. El Libro on its side and La Casa in reverse. La Casa is the King of Hearts. El Libro is the 10 of Diamonds. It's like there's this like not knowing the full story. And then Senora is at the bottom of the deck, Ace of Spades. Yeah, there's this not knowing the full story energy here. I don't know if this is like a mother or a grandmother or a passed on maternal ancestral energy. What's behind the woman? The anchor, El Ancla. It is El Ancla. Now, this anchor is actually, it could be a woman who was like the anchor of a family. It's almost given me Disney's Encanta and how the grandmother, I think I may be misremembering, but it's like the grandmother of that movie experienced great tragedy. But then from that, um, her family was blessed with, magic and abilities and gorgeousness. It's almost like it's not knowing or not seeing what came before, almost like previous chapters of someone's life. Because, like, this is the early part of their life, this is the middle part, and then the end is when they have children. And so, like, there are these two sections before we even came into the world. I was just thinking about Encanto. That's what it is. I was just thinking about that the other day, and the prophecy that Bruno had that I've only seen it once. That what's her name, but like destroy the family, but instead of like putting the burden of prophecy on her, he like destroyed the prophecy and went into hiding and convinced his family that that he ran away. But Ogro with the good hearing was like, I've been telling y'all this whole time. I can hear him in the walls. uh, and maybe it's a little bit of like sometimes things have to fall apart before they can come back together. Because maybe we lose touch with ourselves. Like if this is an individual who has become the anchor, the 9 plus 1 is the 10. So we get another 10 of spades energy. All of the 10 of spades is like additive today. We ain't getting straight 10 of spades. We're getting sixes and fours, aces and nines. Um, But it's almost like this could also be like a mother or a grandmother or the anchor for someone who gives so much to others that they lose that connection within themselves. And so this would be like them needing to feel at home in their own house, the house of their vessel, their body, the house of their soul, you know. Is this the king or is this the queen? It's giving me king energy. Yeah, this is a king because the queen of hearts we've already seen. And the Queen of Hearts was the letter, maybe? I don't remember what the Queen of Hearts was. Wait, no, it was the end. It was the last card because it was letter, letter, Queen of Hearts. And the King of Hearts came out. It was the storks. The stork. Yeah, the stork. La Garza. Um, Interesting. It's just like either way, there's a incomplete story, lack of information, and it may be important to healing a family, or it may be important for one to feel at home within themselves, um, especially one who gives so much to others. I don't know. I love this deck that the box makes. Getting these cards out difficult. I might just glue a little ribbon down there to be able to pull them out easier. Might just DIY or DIM, do it myself. Very much rewrite the story. So now the expanded Gilded Reverie Lenormand. Getting Lenormand. All right. Ooh, that one came out. Oh, okay. That was quick. First card is number 19, which is the Six of Spades, which is the Tower. The Tower that's been coming out all night. I think I've seen the Tower. No. I was going to say, I think I've seen it in every deck. And then number 38. 19 times 2 is 38. Bottom of the deck is the mountain. Now, in this mountain, we don't see a city. We see nature. It's a little deer. The buck. Shout out to Miss Remy Healings. Even though, you know, Reem isn't a buck, but it's a buck is a deer. Even though Reem is technically a gazelle and not a deer, but, you know, the anchor, the magnifying glass. I feel like there's a little bit of this zooming out energy again. The tower and the bridge. Because it's like this might be the tower, this tower. So we're zooming out. I think Tower Bridge is like a thing, right? Where's Kirsty? Now I gotta Google. Or is it Tower Bridges? Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge homepage. History. Deny. Sure. A brief history of Tower Bridge. A huge challenge faced the City of London Corporation: how to build a bridge downstream from London Bridge without disrupting river traffic activities. To generate ideas, a special bridge or subway committee was formed in 1876. That letter was 18 something, wasn't it? It was like September 19th, 18 something. Um, and a public competition was launched to find a design for the new crossing. Over 50 designs were submitted to the committee for consideration, some of which are on display at Tower Bridge. It wasn't until October 1884, however, that Sir Horace Jones, the city architect, in collaboration with Sir John Wolfe Barry, offered the chosen design for Tower Bridge as a solution. So that took 8 years. It took 8 years, five major contractors, and the relentless labor of 432 construction workers each day to build Tower Bridge under the watchful eye of Sir John Wolfe Barry. So 8 more years? Two massive piers were built on foundations sunk into the riverbed to support the construction, and over 11,000 tons of steel provided the framework for the towers and walkways. This framework was clad in Cornish granite and Portland stone to protect the underlying steelwork and to give the bridge a more pleasing appearance. I'm not seeing any of the images that I feel like are supposed to be here, by the way. It's just block of text, white space, block of text, white space, block of text, white space. Like, I feel like there's supposed to be pictures here. How Tower Bridge works. When it was built, Tower Bridge was the largest and most sophisticated bascule bridge ever completed. Bascule comes from the French word for seesaw. These bascules, I'm probably mispronouncing it, were operated by hydraulics using steam to power the enormous pumping engines. There's the air that we've been adding to get our 10 of swords. The energy created was stored in six, that six of spades being the first spades card we saw. Six massive accumulators, meaning that as soon as power was required to lift the bridge, it was always readily available. The accumulators fed the driving engines, which drove the bascules up and down. Despite the complexity of the system, the bascules only took 60 seconds to raise to their maximum angle of 86 degrees. Today, the bascules are still operated by hydraulic power, but since 1976, they have been driven by oil and electricity rather than steam. The original pumping engines, accumulators, and boilers are now on display within the bridge's engine room. So we got key dates from 1886 to 2019. There you go. I wonder if I have a picture of Tower Bridge. When we took a boat to Kew, to Kew Gardens, there were like a whole bunch of bridges that we went under. We're on the Cockney Sparrow, I think. Anyway, it was originally a prison too. Oh, snap. So yeah, here's a whole bunch of, it was a collective effort to design a new bridge that would not disrupt the flow of the river activities at the time. It's gone through several iterations of power, or from steam to oil to electricity, or from steam to a combination of oil and electricity. It was, I don't know. There's another part in there that was interesting. Oh, it was just like how it took 8 years and 11,000 tons of steel and 432 people. Like, it's a great effort. So I guess with the Gilded Reverie, the expanded Gilded Reverie, Lenormand, it may be pointing to like communal efforts. What may seem, it's almost very Three of Pentacles energy, especially in the Wild Unknown Tarot. And then the ring was under the mountain. And then, so it's 21 ring and then 12. With the birds, the day birds. But it's like, if there's a task that is too big, too immense, too monumentous, then maybe it's just not meant to do alone. And if you can't come up with a solution, maybe it's like crowdsourcing a solution and picking the best, or picking one and then like working with it or working on it from there. Even the tower itself is like a great undertaking. to like construct a tower that is, or to build a tower that is structurally sound, that won't collapse under its own weight, or that won't like sway or do whatever. It's like great work energy. But it's like, know that it'll take time and resources. So, it isn't necessarily helpful or beneficial to us to expect ourselves to be able to build Rome in a day and a half on our own with no help or whatever, you know? So go easy on you. Go easy. The rest. The da 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 da. All right. I'm starting to get hungry. I still need to clean. I need to clean. It's happening tonight. All right, Diceology, last card. Thank you. And it is the Six of Hearts. Literally the card that I've been talking about. The one that came out yesterday. Well, not the one that came out, but maximizing or minimizing limitation or support. Look to the root. The root will tell us if we are working with or against the energies. But when it's like, look to the root, that's an us thing. Are we cooperating? Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Diamonds, an accurate depiction, a true-to-life tale, liquid light that carves its way through night. Liquid light that carves its way through night. Maximizing or minimizing, limitation or support. Cool. And then the fortune telling cards. I feel like every card in this deck is like, you're gonna die. Not every card, but there's so many. That's why with these, I'm like, oof. Let's see if we get a straight 10 of spades. All right. Final card, please. Should we do 2? Sure. Final 2. That was weird. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. No, that's enough. That's enough. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Hearts, which looks like a ship to me. The ship is the symbol of riches, and when near, indicates wealth by inheritance or trade. It also foretells a voyage. Then we have the Three of Clubs, the tree, good health, near flowers, fulfillment of highest hopes, and the Two of Hearts. This card represents the gentleman whose fortune is being told, and all the other cards affected to a degree in accordance to their relative proximity. When a gentleman's fortune is being told, number 18 has no significance in the layout. And I'm assuming 18 is the woman. So these are very near. Good health and, near flowers, it's the fulfillment of highest hope. So good health and riches when near indicates wealth by inheritance or trade. So there you go. Peace, prosperity, and good health to you all, apparently. There you go. Oh, I guess that's a socket to me, right? Children signify friendly disposition and gentleness. There's our baronets. Queen of Diamonds that is behind the ship. And the Queen of Clubs is behind that Queen of Diamonds. Wine is the symbol of cheerfulness and gaiety. Cheerfulness, gaiety, friendly dispositions, and gentleness. There you go. And then behind the Queen of Clubs is the fish. The fish is the emblem of riches through stocks, but if distant, it foretells failure and disaster. It's still pretty darn close. So, riches, abundance, good health, cheerfulness, gaiety, all of the great cards that I said that this deck does not have. I love to be proven wrong. So, there you go. Thanks, Holly and Codes of Harmony and David for stopping in. I hope you all have an amazing whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. The key nearby is a certain augury of success, but if surrounded by unlucky cards, the prognostication is illness. All the gorgeous cards. Love it. Yeah. I think I already said that. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. Thank you. Excuse me. I'm so ready to get this place back to its state of orderliness. I'm like ready to walk into my apartment after a long day of work and to not see clutter. But I just closed my storage, so I gotta find homes for all this stuff. All right. Well, I will catch y'all later. But yeah, I think this is how I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna assign each vessel a Lenormand deck, and then I'll read the cards. I'll pull cards for the prophecy. So it'll be within picking a prophecy, you'll also pick a shot glass. If you want, I might do it tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow because I'm ready to get it done and over with. I'm ready for it to no longer be looming over my head. Honestly, I'm ready to drink the bottle of wine that I actually like. But I want to have enough left to do the pick a prophecy. So those other two, I'm like, eh. But I guess maybe I can find somebody who, I don't know. We'll see.